Everybody's pulling you in all directions. You don't know how much longer to take it, so you learn how to fake it. That smile on the outside's fading fast, like the things that you thought for sure would last, but they didn't. You know something's missing.
Good morning. Welcome to the FMS drama presentation of Inner Sanctum Mysteries, Terror by Night, with Maggie Principe, Gianna McGillick, Emily Lorabe, Owen Francor, Michael Votor, Joshua McGillick, and your announcer, Jacob McGillick.
Good evening, friends of the creaking door. This is your host to welcome you into the inner sanctum. Come in, come in. I always feel lighthearted in weather like this. So perhaps we ought to have a little poetry before we begin. An Arab girl named Yuhim was lied to by her husband Menahuin. For this little trifle, she shot him with a rifle, and now she could see right through him. And now, if your scalpels are sharpened and ready, we will proceed with the business of the evening. Tonight we are going to do a little study in terror. Have you ever been alone with fear, alone in the night and frightened? Well, here is our star, Gianna McGillick, in the role of Linda Dixon, who will tell us a tale of terror by night.
It was Friday night, and I think I was a little nervous as we drove through the mountains. I hadn't wanted to waste even an hour of my 2-week vacation, so I had all my bags packed in the car waiting at the curb in front of my office building. I started from the city early enough to arrive before nightfall. Everything would be all right if the fuel pump in my 6-year-old car hadn't acted up. It took a mechanic almost 2 hours to get me going. So now I was driving through the night with 50 miles more to go, and I was tired and nervous and irritated. Then I heard a whistle in the distance. At first, I couldn't place it. Then I remembered the state prison was somewhere in the vicinity. The whistle! It meant a prisoner had escaped. I reached over and turned on the radio. Maybe they were broadcasting something about it.
Motorists are warned to be on the lookout for Lee Hartley, who escaped from the death cell at state prison at 9:15 p.m. Tall, dark-haired, regular features, no distinguishing marks. Hartley is a confirmed killer. He is believed to be armed. Beware of Hartley. He would rather kill than eat. Police are executing a thorough search. It has already been established that
He'd rather kill than eat, and that man was loose, perhaps waiting around the next bend in the road. I stared ahead at the lonely road spinning towards me through the windshield.
Hartley was helped to escape from the outside by his sweetheart Helen Huron, a red-headed woman just as vicious as Hartley himself. It is thought that Hartley and the Huron woman may have separated after the escape. All motorists are warned to be aware of a dark-haired man and a red-haired woman, alone or together.
My hand was shaking a little as I turned off the radio. I looked at the car mirror and shivered. I, too, had red hair. There was a storm coming on, and I was driving into it, and the night was black, and I felt small and lonely and frightened in the car. And then I saw them in the mirror, the headlights sweeping up behind me. A car that had come out of nowhere. It was pulling alongside, cutting me off. I cowered behind the wheel and watched the door of the other car open. A man stepped out. Oh, I breathed a sigh of relief. It was a state trooper.
You driving all alone, miss?
Yes, officer.
Sorry if I scared you. We're stopping all cars. Where are you headed for?
Well, I'm going to lodge at Smuggler's Notch. That's near Mount Mansfield. You see, I started out late from the city and him having motor trouble.
Yeah, sure. Can I see your driver's license, please?
My driver's license? Yes, of course. Here, I've got it in my purse. I'm seeming to be all fingers. It's that escaped prisoner Hartley.
How do you know about him?
I heard the prison whistle, and then it came over the radio. The Hartley and his red-haired girlfriend.
Hey, you've got red hair too.
You don't think I'm that woman?
Find that license yet?
Oh, yes. I'm sure it's in here. I've got so many things in this bag. Oh, here. I got it. Here's my driver's license.
Thanks. What time did you say you left the city?
About 5 o'clock?
Took you a long time to get up this far.
I told you. I had motor trouble.
So you did. Okay, Miss Dixon. Here's your license.
Thank you.
You can go ahead.
Thank you. Oh, darn. There it goes again.
More motor trouble?
Oh, it's the same thing. The mechanic said it might happen again. Oh, it started.
You want to get that fixed first chance you get.
It's too late. All the service stations are closed.
Well, there's one that's open all night. About 2 miles up the road.
Oh?
Better stop there. Bill Slater's place.
Bill Slater?
He's a good mechanic. He'll fix you up. Tell him Joe Nesbitt sent you.
Thanks, I will.
And listen, Miss Dixon,
Yes?
you be careful. Don't stop to give anyone a lift, man or woman.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. The night closed in on me again. I didn't feel quite so nervous, knowing that the trooper was somewhere behind me on the road and Bill Slater's service station up ahead. In a few minutes, I saw lights of the station. I swung open in the front space of the pumps and stopped. There was a rumbling of thunder in the west. The storm was moving up fast. There was another car, a coupe, parked at the pump, but there was nobody in it. I didn't see any attendant around either, so I pressed the horn button. No one answered. Everything seemed so quiet and suddenly ominous. I found myself shivering. I had a curious feeling that someone was watching me. I had to get away from there, fast. Oh, the starter won't work again. Oh, it won't start again. Oh, this won't start. Oh, it won't start. For the first time in a long time, I sat behind the wheel listening for the sound of footsteps stealing up beside the car. But there was none. Then I couldn't bear it longer. I had to get out of the car. I had to see what was in that office. I opened the door of the car and stepped into the gravel. Anybody in there? No answer. I clenched my fist and stepped inside. There on the floor at my feet lay the body of a man. His mechanic jumper was stained red with blood, and his throat was cut from ear to ear. For how long I stood there, I'll never know. I was petrified, unable to move, unable to take my eyes from the bloody body. What's that? Someone's coming downstairs. Hartley. It must be Hartley, the killer. He must have been hiding somewhere upstairs. I must get away. I've got to get away outside. But how? My car won't run. The other car. The coupe. I could jump into that. Yes. If only I could reach that coupe before he comes down.
Anything wrong, sister?
Oh, too late.
Anything I can do for your sister?
Yes. It's my car. I thought someone here might help me.
Sorry, there doesn't seem to be anybody around. That's my coupe over there. I stopped for gas and no one came out, so I went and looked around.
Well, did you find anybody?
There isn't a living soul in there.
Oh.
You look kind of tired.
No, I'm all right.
My name's Taylor, John Taylor.
I'm Linda Dixon.
Linda Dixon,
Yes.
Glad to know you. You traveling far tonight?
I'm going to Mount Mansfield, to the lodge of the Smuggler's Notch. They're expecting me.
Oh, what do you know about that?
What?
Mount Mansfield is the place I'm heading for, too. Isn't that a coincidence?
I'm sure it is.
And your car won't run, huh? I'll tell you what, we'll put your baggage in my car and I'll give you a lift to Mount Mansfield. You can send for your car in the morning.
No.
I'll have your bag switched in a jiffy.
Please, no, I'd rather not.
There you are. All right. Now come on and get in here.
He took my arm and helped me into the coupe. His hands were straw and his grip hard. It hurt me.
There you are, snug as a bug in a rug.
We drove our way into the night, leaving us behind the dead man service station.
Well, from where we sit, it looks as if Linda Dixon's got herself into an awful jam. And believe me, she's shaking like jelly. Well, let's see how our star, Gianna McGillick, in the role of Linda Dixon, is making out. All alone in the car with a strange man. But after all, she shouldn't be too scared of him. He's just a felon who needs a friend.
The storm broke a few minutes after we left the service station. We drove through the sheets of rain. I sat stiff and tense beside the man who called himself John Taylor. He had both hands on the wheel and stared out through the windshield. My eyes focused on something on his right hand. It was a stain. A small stain, but it was wet and red. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
What are you looking at?
What? Oh, nothing at all.
I think I'll turn on the radio. Did you know there's been a jailbreak?
He is a killer by instinct and a very dangerous. He is accompanied by Helen Hearn. Helen Hearn is a clever and dangerous woman. 5'3", red hair, very pretty. Beware of this woman. She is vicious, just as dangerous as Hartley himself.
I caught Taylor looking at me through the corner of his eye. What are you looking at?
Your hair, it's red.
There was a streak of lightning, and looking out the rain-stepped window, I glimpsed at a signpost. The lightning illuminated the sign, and my heart skipped a beat when I saw to jump. That sign we just passed.
What about it?
It said, Barrington ahead. We're going the wrong way. We should be on Mansfield Road, not the Barrington Road.
That's funny. I must have taken the wrong turn.
Well, aren't you going to turn back?
Sure, whatever you say. We'll turn right around and go back.
Oh,
We're in the ditch.
in the ditch?
No good. She won't budge.
Well, looks like we're stuck here for the night. I think I'd better get out and walk. Perhaps there's a house nearby.
Walk in this weather?
Well, I don't mind the weather. Really, I don't.
You can't walk in the storm. You're staying right here until I get the car out of the ditch. I'll just get some tools in the truck and compartment. You stay put.
I hear him open the trunk in the back. I listen for further sounds, but there's nothing. I didn't hear him moving back there. I didn't hear any tools. I had to find out what he was doing. Slowly, carefully, I got my door open. I stepped out into the rain and sneaked back towards the rear. I saw him there, not moving, in front of an open truck compartment, bending over with a flashlight in his hand. A ray of light was focused on something curled up inside. It wasn't baggage or tools. It was a woman's body. Just then, he saw me. He snapped off the flashlight, but not before I caught a glimpse of red hair. Then I must have fainted. When I came to, I found myself seated in the car again. My face and hair were wet. My clothes were dripping. John Taylor was driving. His face, as he started to head through the night, was dark and bleak. The storm was over. The night was quiet.
So you're awake again.
I don't feel well.
Is it because of what's in the truck compartment?
Oh, she's dead.
I told you not to get out of the car.
What are you gonna do with me?
What do you think?
Oh, please.
Sorry, sister. Gotta take your medicine.
Oh, no.
Don't make any trouble. I'll try to make it easy for you as I can.
They say when a person loses all hope, he subconsciously seeks refuge in sleep. That's what must have happened to me. I must have dozed, or perhaps I fainted. I don't know. But when I awoke with the sound of brakes, I sat straight up and saw that we had stopped in front of a small field house. Why are we stopping here?
I'm out of gas.
Oh.
Come on, we're going in.
The sign on the door read, Roger Bryce, MD, the doctor's house. I began to feel a spark of hope. There might be some chance.
I'll do the talking. Is that clear?
Yes.
Where's the bell? Oh. He must be awake. There's a light in the parlor.
How do you do?
Oh, good evening, Dr. Bryce.
Yes, can I help you?
I'm terribly sorry to disturb you, Doctor, but my sister and I are heading out Mansfield, and we seem to have gotten lost, and we're out of gas.
His sister? He wasn't passing us off as brother. He was passing us off as brother and sister. Now I knew why he hadn't cut my throat on the service station man's. He was carrying me for protection. I was passed through the police cordon. His sister!
I'm afraid I can't be of much help to you. I'm 7 miles from the nearest town, and I don't have any spare gasoline. But come in, won't you?
Why, yes, thank you, we will.
I wonder if I could offer you my hospitality for the night.
Oh, that would be imposing.
Not at all. I have 2 rooms that aren't being used.
What, really?
Oh, come. I insist.
I had hoped for a chance to talk to Dr. Bryce alone, just a word to warn him, but Taylor never left us alone for a minute. He insisted on coming to my room to make sure, he said, that it was comfortable enough for me. Then he took the doctor by the arm and went out with him.
Good night, sis, and sweet dreams.
I was alone, free of the presence of John Taylor, and I had another lease on life. I lay down on the bed, but I didn't dare close my eyes. I waited, my heart pounding, to give them both a chance to retire. Then I slipped off my shoes, got off the bed in my stocking feet, and stole across the room and inched my doors open. Slowly, carefully, I stepped into the corridor and turned right towards the doctor's room.
What's the matter, sister? Sleepwalking? You weren't thinking of going anywhere, sister, were you?
I wanted a drink of water.
A drink of water, huh?
Yes.
In case you don't know, there's a water pitcher on your dresser.
Oh, well, I didn't see it.
Good night, sister.
I turned around and went back to my room. It was no use. If I attempted to warn Dr. Bryce, Taylor would probably kill us both. I turned out the light to my room. I knew he was watching my transom. I lay down on the bed. For how long I lay there, I didn't know. Perhaps I slept, perhaps not, but I heard a slight creak on my door and my door began to inch open. The blood chilled in my veins. Slowly the door opened. I lay fantasized, unable to move. Vaguely I saw the outline of a hand and a knife it held. I wanted to scream, but I couldn't. Slowly he came towards the bed, now stands over me. He raised the knife. Ah! I screamed. I rolled off the bed just as the knife slashed down. I rolled off the bed and cowered in the corner. The horrible figure came around the bed after me with the knife upraised. Help! Dr. Bryce, help me! Help! While I cowered there in a corner, they fought over the room in the dark. I had no strength to move, to think, or to even hope. All the life seemed to gone dead in my veins. Then it was over. But who? Who had won? In the dark, I strained my eyes to see. There was a vague shape on the floor and another, weaving around the room. Who? Which one was it? Doctor? Dr. Bryce, is that you?
No, Linda, it isn't Dr. Bryce. It's I, John Taylor.
It was John Taylor standing there at the light switch, and on the floor lay Dr. Bryce, unconscious with a long gash in his head.
I had to hit him with the water pitcher.
My eyes swung back to Dr. Bryce. I saw the knife still gripped in his right hand.
That's Hartley, Linda.
What?
Lee Hartley, the killer.
Was it him who came in here with the knife?
Right. I was down in the cellar just now. The real Dr. Bryce is down there dead. This guy posed as Bryce when he came to the house.
Oh, then it was you? You're not Hartley?
Isn't that rich? Oh, wait, what a situation all the time you thought. I was Lee Hartley and I thought you were Helen Hearn on account of your red hair.
But the body of the red-haired woman?
That's Helen Hearn. This guy must have killed her back at the service station, stuffed her body in my trunk compartment while I was inside.
That all happened last summer. In time, I think I'll manage to get the Night of Terror, but it won't happen to be soon. Sometimes in the night, I dream that I see that awful figure with the knife poised above my throat. I wake up screaming. But then John takes me into his arms and holds me tight, telling me everything's okay. You see, I'm Mrs. John Taylor now.
Well, what do you know? A happy ending. As for Mr. Hartley, that pleasant killer, he got what he deserved. Some people never know when they're well off. He should have stayed in jail, where they never raise your rent, where they make no charge for meals or for electric current. You see, when you're in jail, everything is free, except you. Well, friends, it's time once again to close that creaking door until next week at this time, when we'll be back with a little hunk of horror. You'll be sure to listen, won't you? Until next week, then. Good night. Pleasant dreams.
For listening to FMS presentation of Inner Sanctum. Stay tuned for Lights Out, Revolt of the Worms. Welcome to the FMS drama presentation of Inner Sanctum Mysteries, Revolt of the Worms, with Maggie Principe, Gianna McGillick, Emily Loraby, Owen Frank Hoare, Michael Votor, Joshua McGillick, and Jacob McGillick, your announcer. Sorry about that. This is FMS's drama presentation of Lights Out, Revolt of the Worms, starring Michael Votor, Gianna McGillick, Joshua McGillick, Maggie Principe, Owen Frank Hoare, and I'm your announcer, Jacob McGillick.
All I can do is sit and think and wait. Wait for the floors to lift and the walls to crash. Facts think of facts. Yes, the journal of facts think how it began. While it's happening, journal facts until the walls crash in the thick flesh. Charles Prentice, there's a fact, chemist and fool.
Fool! Run away! Run away! Run away! Run away!
Run away from reality.
War! War! War!
Run away. You mean we're going to live in this godforsaken place, Charles?
You mean we're going to live in this godforsaken place, Charles?
Yes, Claire, I remember you did say that, and I said, of course we're going to live here. It's ideal for my work.
But we're so far away from everything, Charles.
So far away from what? Your friends? My friends?
All right, Charles. Whatever you say, Charles.
You never disagree with me, did you, Claire?
Why, it's so quiet up here. It's almost as if we're out of this world.
Yes, I remember young Jackson, you did say that.
I like working with you, sir. Why, up here, it's almost if we were out of this world.
Out of the world, I wanted to be out of the world.
Hide until it's over.
Yes, why not? Why not?
What are you going to do all the way up there, Prentice?
To do my work, of course.
But who cares about propagating new varieties of roses at a time like this?
The times have nothing to do with it, and I'll do what I please. I'll do what I please.
But Prentice, to leave suddenly like this, it doesn't make sense. Roses are fine in normal times, but a chemist of your ability, in times like these, certainly, there's more productive work that you can do.
I'm not interested in your opinions. I'll do what I please. Do you hear me? I'll do what I please. Do what I please.
Yes, sir. Everything's ready, sir. Greenhouse all ready for you, sir.
1 week ago, Wednesday.
Does the wind always blow up here, Charles?
Eh?
I said, the wind. Does it always blow like that?
Why?
It's frightening.
Mighty less frightening than the things that are happening back in the city.
I suppose so.
I know, so where's that boy? Jackson.
Yes, sir.
The phosphates, are they ready yet?
Not quite, sir.
Well, get them ready. Every one of the plants, we worked late tonight, very late. Work late and hard, that was the answer to everything.
A chemist of your ability, in times like these, there certainly must be more important work to do than propagating roses that you could do. A chemist of your ability, in times like these, there certainly must be more.
No, I wouldn't think of that. I told myself I wouldn't think of that. Roses, yes, developed the greatest rose in the world. That would be my answer to them. While they bombed and burned, I developed the largest rose the world has ever known. And when the world settled down again, I'd come back and bring the rose to them, and they wouldn't care if I had run away. My plan, why did it go wrong? Claire, why did it go wrong? Oh, dead. You're dead. They killed you. Dead. As I'll be dead if I could only think. Why did it go wrong?
Where'll I put the solution that's left over, Mr. Prentice?
Yes, I do remember that was it.
Oh gosh, Mr. Prentice, I'm trying to understand, but I'm so tired.
You must keep working. The only salvation is to work.
What's salvation got to do with roses?
Don't be impertinent. Do your work.
Yes, sir.
2 cc for each plant, and careful, don't let any of it touch the stem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You weren't very happy, were you, Jackson? Those were things you couldn't understand.
It isn't that I don't want to work, Mr. Prentice. It's that I'm all mixed up. These roses, why do I have to pour stuff on them every hour or on the hour? It doesn't make sense.
Hormones? Sure. I know that they are secretions from the glands in the human body. Sure, I know what they're for. Make us grow and everything. I get it that that's what you try to do with the roses, make them grow fast and big, but how do you know these hormones work on plants, Mr.
And how much do you give them? And how big will the roses grow, Mr. Prentice?
Questions, everlasting questions, but now I ask them, why did it go wrong?
Thursday.
Thursday, what do I remember?
Where will I throw the hormone mixture that's left over, Mr. Prentice? Mr. Prentice, I said, where will I throw the hormone?
Go away and you can't see when I'm working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, I remember.
Friday.
What a Friday.
Friday night.
Claire,
Yes?
is that you?
Yes, Charles.
What are you doing walking out here in the dark?
It's a lovely night,
Romantic at your age.
just like the night.
You woman, come back to my house.
All right.
Crazy walking around in the dark. Oh, what's the matter with you? Can't you walk? If I hadn't caught it.
It's slippery.
What are you talking about?
It's all slippery around here.
Don't talk foolishness.
But it is.
By George, you're right.
What?
Stand still. I'll light a match. I had some. Yes, now we'll see what the.
Charles!
Stop grabbing. Worms.
What?
Can't you see? Just ordinary earthworms, night crawlers. We just walked over a few of them. Oh, you woman with your fears and your squeamishness. Walk on a few worms and you make more noise and more fuss. Yes, I remember Friday night.
The extra hormone solution. Where will I throw it, Mr. Prentice? Mr. Prentice, where will I throw the extra hormone solution?
Saturday and then the night. Jackson, where are you? Jackson, I told you to stay in the house. Jackson, where are you? Time to feed the plants. Jackson, where are you?
He's not here, Charles.
Claire, you startled me. Walking up like that.
I didn't mean to.
That infernal boy, where is he? Have you seen him?
He's not in the house.
But I told him not to go out. I told him only an hour ago he's got to work all night. The plants must be watered every hour on the hour.
He went out.
Why didn't you stop him? Now I'll have to go chase after him. Jackson, are you out there? Come in.
Oh, Charles, what?
Oh. Well, what did you think it was? Thunder? It's starting to rain. Shut the door. Shut the door, I say.
But the boy.
If he hasn't the sense to come in out of the rain, it's just too bad. I've got enough to do with worrying about my roses without worrying about him. And don't you go after him. He'll come back. Saturday night, and then it was the day again.
Charles, wake up. Please wake up.
Oh, where?
You're on the couch. You fell asleep on the couch. Charles, get up right away.
What's the matter with you? Why should I get up? What difference does it make?
Listen to me, please. The boy, he isn't back yet. Jackson, he isn't back yet. Charles, where could he be? The storm. You slept. I waited.
Wait a minute. Have you looked in his room?
I just came from there. Charles, where could he have gone to all through the storm?
Oh, stop talking so much. Let me get up. I'll go see. Oh, must you follow me? Why didn't you wake me up? Why did you let me sleep?
I must have fallen asleep too. I opened my eyes and it was day. Oh, Charles.
Oh, stop. Oh, Charlesing me. Crazy young fool. So he spent the night outside. So what's the difference? Teach him a lesson. Well, no wonder he isn't back yet. Fog like this, it's as bad as night.
Charles.
All right. What am I supposed to do? Go wandering through the fog like a bloodhound? Like a fool? Don't worry. He'll be back. But you never did come back, did you, Jackson? When the sun came out and that everlasting wind came up and lifted the fog.
Charles, come here.
Oh, where are you?
Back at the house, Charles. Come quickly.
Oh, what is it? What do you want now? The boy isn't around. I've looked everywhere. Now what?
Charles, what happened back there?
What?
Look at the ground.
What in the? Who plowed this ground up?
Plowed?
Yes, certainly plowed. Can't you see some crazy, drunken fool plowed up on the ground?
During the night? Charles, what could it be?
You believe what you see, don't you? It's that boy.
What?
Yes, that Jackson went crazy, found a plow, tore up the ground, and ran away. Went out of his mind, and that's it. The boy's gone crazy, tearing up the ground and gone crazy. Gone crazy. And then that night, the same night, after I brought Jackson had gone crazy, run away, I went back to my work Sunday night.
Charles? Charles, can I speak with you? Charles, please stop your work and talk to me.
Haven't you lived with me enough years to know what I don't like to be interrupted when I'm working?
But I'm frightened.
Are you really?
Charles, stop it.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes, maybe I am.
What did you say?
Maybe I am crazy. All right, maybe I am. Is that the only way I could have lived with you all these years?
What?
Endured your selfishness, your unbelievable selfishness.
Well,
Everything's for you. For 20 years, everything's for you.
now that's enough.
Your work, your pleasures, that's what you think, what you want. Everything for you, nothing for anyone else.
Will you shut up?
The gentle Mr. Prentice, the scientist, the good husband who never lifts his voice. Mother in heaven, I'd rather be married to a fool with a heart in him than you.
Well,
You haven't got a heart. You've never had a heart, and it's you, and no one else. That boy can be dead out there, and you don't care. I could be dead, and you don't care, as long as you're safe and doing what you want to do.
Will you go away and let me go on with my work?
Charles, I'm frightened. That boy. Now the noises.
I'm asking for the last time to go away and let me do my work.
But listen to me. You've been out here all night. I've been back of the house alone. I've been listening. I didn't want to come in here, but I had to. Charles, the things I said, I meant them. For years I've meant them. All right, it doesn't matter. But I'll tell you this. There's something outside the house. Find out what it is, Charles.
20 years ago, I thought you were an irrational woman. I thought I'd change you out of that irrationality. I was wrong. I'll humor you just this once, but never again. Where are these noises?
At the back of the house.
The lantern, hand it to me.
Yes.
Thank you. You're frightened. You don't have to go with me.
I want to know.
What, you're a fool? Well, so what am I supposed to hear? There's nothing. Hello? Out there? Hello? Well, what now?
Listen.
To what?
Listen.
To what?
I thought...
You heard the wind whistling through the cracks in your brain. Come into the house.
Charles, wait.
Wait for...
Here?
Yes, so what? Give me the lantern. If that's that boy,
Oh, it could be him, couldn't it?
that crazy young fool playing practical jokes, if I get around the corner of that house and... What's going on here?
Charles, something moving under the ground.
Yes, so dark. Can't quite make out.
Charles, what is it?
I don't know. What animal of some sort?
Take me back to the house.
Oh, go yourself, Moola. Come out of the clouds. What is this?
Give me the lantern, Charles.
No, I want to see the house. Is back there. Turn around and go back to it. Go ahead.
All right.
Yes, it is something burrowing. If the infernal moon'd come out, I'd see they're coming out now. I'll see what holes in the ground all over. What are they? Bomb craters? But that isn't possible. No, animal burrows, but what animal could make a hole 4 feet across? What animal?
Charles!
Claire, where are you? Claire! So dark I can't see. Claire, where are you? Claire!
Claire, where are you? Claire, where are you?
Yes, Claire, I ran through the night looking for you. The echo of my voice is still in my ears, looking for you. And the moon was under the clouds, and I couldn't see you. I couldn't find you, and then I did. You had fallen into one of those craters, into one of those holes in the ground. I couldn't see you, but I could hear you. But which one of the holes? They were all over, ground pock marked with them. I ran around in the dark. I could hear you, but couldn't find you. And then the moon, it was out again. Oh, blast the moon. Why did it come out? If it hadn't come out, I would have seen in my head. Stop it, stop it, stop it, Claire. Stop it. I can still hear you. I can still hear you. Your body down in that hole as I ran towards you. Suddenly I saw something else was coming toward you. Something that glistened wet in the moonlight. Something long and slimy. A great twisting snake, yet not a snake. Not a snake. And the fear in me made me fall to the ground, and I saw, as I lay there, I saw the thing move toward the hole in the ground, as if you weren't there, as if it were blind and couldn't see, like a great blind worm. It was a worm, 10, 20, no, 30 feet long, crawling in fright to its home in the ground. And it's moved towards you, Claire, covered in you, crushed you. You're dead, Claire. You've been dead for 2 days. Why should I tear out of the memory all of the horror that how you died, of how young Jackson must have died?
Where'll I throw the extra hormone solution, Mr. Prentice? Where'll I throw the extra hormone solution, Mr. Prentice?
Yes, that's very funny, isn't it, Jackson? I ran away and I was going to bring back the world, the greatest rose, but I brought back the greatest worms. The hormones you threw away soaked into the ground, soaking into their flesh, into their life process, miraculously increasing the growth of them, until overnight they grew and grew without limit into the terrible horrors. And they are still growing. I can hear them for the last 2 days squirming around the house and over it. Great monstrous pieces of slimy flesh squirming and writhing, hundreds of them, thousands of them, burrowing under the ground. And at night, coming out of the ground, I have seen them, a sea of flesh, a sea of worms. Yes, I hear you out there, you worms. You were under the ground, and now there's no room underground for you, so you come out of the ground, and the world was yours first. So now you're going to take it back. The world for the worms. You're under the house, you're lifting it. The walls will fill and crush me, and I'll die. And then I want to be dead. And now I know why this is happening to me. I thought I could run away from the world and what was happening in the world. You hear that, you worms out there? I thought I could run away. Now I'm very tired. Just sit here and wait for them. I'll know I'll die. The walls falling, crushing. Window. Something behind me. A worm at the window, head looking in. He's crawling in, another following, in another. They're filling the room. Worms all around me, the worms around me, worms covering me, cold flesh, wet flesh, the worms covering me, the worms.
This has been FMS Drama. This has been FMS Drama. Old time radio presentation of Lights Out, Revolt of the Worms.
We want to thank everybody for listening. And guys, I just wanted to ask what you guys thought about doing the radio show this year. Joshua?
I loved it.
What did you like best about it?
That I could be heard by so many more people and they didn't have to pay to listen.
Excellent. Michael, what did you like best about doing the radio shows?
I liked the different voices that I did in the different characters and the getting into characters of people without having to look like them.
Excellent. Emily?
I like that I could speak with other people and other characters, that I didn't have to speak face to face with them, and because it's kind of like I don't have to be the character, I can just voice the character.
Excellent. Maggie, what did you like best about doing the radio shows?
I liked it because we could do more of them than we can do plays.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could do radio shows like a lot.
Owen.
I liked that I had a chance to use my weird voices that I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was really cool to be able to use like a demonic voice and then 10 minutes later a kinder voice.
And Gianna, what did you like about being on the radio?
The plot of all the different plays, and how they did twist and turns.
Mm-hmm. And Jacob, so all the guys that you guys were just hearing from are all part of Fairgrounds. Joshua, Michael, and Emily are 8th graders, and we're going to be losing them to Nashua South next year. We're going to miss you guys when you go. But Maggie, Gianna, and Owen are still going to be here, and Jacob is graduating into Fairgrounds, and he'll be coming next year to do the radio show. Jacob, what did you like about?
I like that the radio shows are really fun because I can take on new personalities. I can kind of be multiple people in public without having it feel awkward. It's like a really fun opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody out there is able to come to Fairgrounds for middle school, I suggest that you also join the drama club.
Excellent. All right. And so we wanted to wrap it up and for the summer, and we'll come back in the fall and present more radio shows on a monthly basis. And Jacob, I'll have you read the last part.
Thank you for listening to FMS Drama Old Time Radio on WSMN and 1590 AM and 95.3 FM. A special thank you to George Russell from WSMN and John Grosvenor from TIBN for all of your support. Have a great day.
So I encourage anyone out there to do the whale shark swim, and they also have a whale shark dive. But from what I saw from the people diving, they did it